Welcome to the Joy Meets Pain podcast. I'm your host, Dorcas. As a psychotherapist who has worked with children, couples, individuals, and families for decades, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people say, "My family is the worst," or "I'm too embarrassed to talk about my family," or "No family is like mine." Well, guess what, listeners? All families have ishness, foolishness, happiness, shadiness, loneliness, forgiveness, hopefulness, goodness, and the list goes on. If you come from a family and are trying to navigate your family relationships, then welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Joy Meets Pain podcast, episode 9. It is Valentine's Day week all over the world, so I jumped at the chance to talk about love. In this episode, I will share some quotes from authors, people I value, podcaster and author Jay Shetty, former First Lady Michelle Obama, author Bell Hooks, and segments of a conversation from Simon Sinek's interview with Trevor Noah. Valentine's Day comes along and people, lovers, couples scramble to make the day as memorable as ever with chocolate, roses, cologne, expensive dinners, proposals, and the list goes on. Here in the US, we are bombarded with red and pink merchandise and anything that can be manufactured into the shape of a heart. What is it about this love day that makes us crazy in love? Some people actually plan breakups after Valentine's Day to ensure they do not miss out on the gifts. Is this love? Absolutely not the love that Bob Marley serenaded us with. I miss Bob. We desperately need him. I digress. In her 2001 book titled All About Love, Bell Hooks cites Diana Ackerman as follows: "Love is the great intangible. It can mean almost nothing or absolutely everything." How do you define love? How do the people around you know that you love them? Love is action. People may not say "I love you," but do they make you feel loved? Others throw around the phrase with ease because it means nothing to them. It is up to you to work at giving and receiving love. Many of our early childhood experiences dictate how we define love. Thus, it's an ongoing process to learn, unlearn, and experience what healthy love looks like and feels like. In psychotherapy, we are attentive to the manner in which the 7 basic affective systems, as outlined by Jack Pansep and Lucy Biven, which are seeking, which is expectancy, right? What we expect. Fear, which shows up as anxiety. Rage, of course we know, is anger. Lust, which is sexual excitement. Care, which is nurturance. Panic or grief, which can show up as sadness. And play, which is social joy. So we are attentive to how they are expressed, suppressed, or repressed in individuals. As you can see, there is an interpersonal component to these systems. Therefore, how we connect, how we love, and how we receive love throughout life matters. In Jay Shetty's book, 8 Rules of Love, How to Find It, Keep It, and Let It Go, and in Michelle Obama's book, The Light We Carry, And as discussed by German-American social psychologist Erich Fromm in his book called The Art of Loving, love is described by all three as a practice. Shetty talks about the 4 ashrams, which he defines as classrooms or sanctuaries for self-development. And these 4 include, number 1, preparing for love, number 2, practicing love, number 3, protecting love, and number 4 is perfecting love. Love requires practice. True love requires protecting. Michelle Obama validated the importance of practice. She stated, "How do any of us turn into adults with real grown-up lives and real grown-up relationships? Mostly through trial and error, it would seem. By just figuring it out. Many of us, I think, puzzle out our identities only over time, figuring out who we are and what we need in order to get by. We practice and learn and learn and practice. We make mistakes and then start over again." End of quote. Oh my, is my response to this statement. This description was in her chapter on partnering well, which, by the way, is a fabulous title for a chapter on how to partner. There is no straight path leading to perfection as a human being or a partner. There's trial and error, there's stumbling and falling, but most importantly, there's getting up and trying again. So as we approach and prepare for Valentine's Day, I want us to ask ourselves, do I know how to love? Here are a few ways to tell. How do I treat myself, my body, my health, my money, my space, my time? Am I a receptacle for other people's waste? Take a moment and think about that. When I stumble and fall, do I forgive myself or punish myself? When my friends disappoint me, do I forgive them or pull away? Do I have different expectations of others than I do for myself? So when looking for a partner, we create this list of qualities we desire, right? I want someone who is ambitious, balanced, bold, bald, considerate, caring, dependable, empathic, fine, funny, fun, genuine, generous, humble, independent, jovial, joyful, kind, knowledgeable, loyal, logical, loving, malleable, motivated, neat, noticeable, open, observant, polite, patient, quirky, qualified, responsible, reasonable, respectful, supportive, sensitive, tenacious, team player, understanding, versatile, virtuous, warm, welcoming, X-factor-ish, zealous, zestful. As you can see, I went through the whole alphabet to try and find qualities. All right, so question is, am I this person? And what do I have to offer? Right? Am I quick to see fault in others? Do I take responsibility for my actions and work on doing better? Do I self-reflect each day and feel good about how I used my time and energy A conversation about love must include discourse about friendship. A study from the Gottman Institute found that for 70% of men and women who reported satisfaction with sex, romance, and passion in marriage, friendship was the key ingredient. I will add that friendship also includes family members or any person with whom we feel safe enough to be vulnerable. The people who see us at our best and our worst. The people who can sense that something is wrong and act without being asked. It is through our true friendships that we learn how to love better. Simon Sinek, who's described on his website as an unshakable optimist, shared the following in his interview with Trevor Noah on friendship, loneliness, vulnerability, and more. And I quote, "The thing I'm obsessing about right now is friendship. There's an entire industry to help us be better leaders, be better parents, eat better, exercise better, sleep better, and yet there's barely anything on how to be a friend." And when you think about all the mental health challenges that so many of us are facing today, whether it's coping with stress, depression, anxiety, addiction, even longevity, friendship is the ultimate biohack that literally fixes all of those things. End of quote. Trevor Noah referenced a friend's comments as follows. In successful spaces, people often use the word sacrifice. When we say sacrifice, we shouldn't be afraid to put a name to whom that sacrifice was, because oftentimes it was the people in our lives that we call friends. End of quote. So my question to you is, number one, who's cheering you on? And number two, whose back do you have? Number three, who stood by you through it all? And number four, are you that friend for others? Love is action. Right, so Sinek continues by saying, definitely for me, the time where I have tripped, slipped, fell, hit rock bottom, felt alone, any of those spaces, my work wasn't going to rescue me, and it was by the grace of some higher power. There was always a friend who saw it and recognized it in me. End quote. So for me, myself, these are some of the thoughts that keep me up at night. That job that's killing you is not going to come visit you in hospital or care that you are down. In therapy, it is understood that a support system is one of the protective factors required to overcome challenges. Right? Connection is necessary and it is healing. Fromm talks about love as overcoming human separateness. So as you think about Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or Palentine's Day, think beyond the romanticized love that's pink and red and expensive and is only for one day. Think about the aunt who sent you a care package when you needed one. The mail carrier who walks through rain and snow to bring you your mail. The grocery store clerk working at Lidl, seeing an endless line in front of them. The elderly customer who held the door for you when it should be the other way around. The nurse who was working overnight, sharing, caring for your loved one at the hospital or nursing home, the parent who's using their retirement money to help you because you had to move back home, and of course the children, the elderly, those who cannot defend themselves. So what is the point I'm making here? That love is not primarily a relationship to a specific person. It is an attitude, an orientation of character, which determines the relatedness of a person to the world as a whole, not towards one object of love. And those are the words from Erich Fromm. All right, so in closing, I would love to hear your thoughts, questions, comments about what love means to you, especially in our February 2025 world. When did you feel most loved? And how do you demonstrate your love for others? Are you attentive to your love practice on a daily basis? And remember, love is an art. Love is a choice. Love is not a thing. Love is practice.
I hope you found this episode informative and engaging. If you found it meaningful in some way and have comments to share, or you would like to share your family story, whether joyful or painful, please send an email to info@joymeetspain.com. Thank you for tuning in and for allowing me to spend this part of your day with you. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And of course, please spread the word. Till next time, stay well and stay present.